Second language use and second language learning. There was a lot of emphasis by the universal grammar researchers to distinguish between competence and performance. Performance related to the production of the knowledge by the learner, while competence related to the knowledge of the second language, in this case, that exists in the mind of the learner. So when you check the work of your students in your classroom, you are actually looking at the performance. The main argument of the universal grammar researchers was that the learners might have a higher degree of competence. That is, they might understand and know second language to higher extent. However, in their performance, given the context, there might be some slips or mistakes. So we as teachers are more concerned with performance, or because this is only what we can observe. So how does performance itself, that is the use of the second language, how does it lead towards the learning of the second language? So second language performance, for example, speaking. For example, making sense of the language data that comes to the learner. That means interpreting, processing, and actually responding to the information in second language that comes to the learner. Researchers would say that this production of response also somehow leads to a higher degree of the learning of the second language. That is, speaking the language, trying to interpret it, process it, and then use it can also lead to second language learning. However, having said that, there has been traditionally a lot of emphasis on language input. Of course, the processing will come only if the language input in second language is given. And the question of response only comes when the data of second language is presented to the learner. So there has also been a lot of emphasis on second language input for language learning. And this reminds us of Stephen Krashen's work through the all 1970s till 1980s, who emphasized that second language learning was dependent on the comprehensible input. That is, if the learners are able to understand the message provided to them in second language, it is only then that they will be able to learn the structures of the second language. Well, Krashen's view has been very influential, and a lot of research has been based on this claim and has been inspired by his work. However, his work is not without critique, and there are several reasons for it. And one of the main reasons is that it is underspecified. It is not as yet a theory. It is only a hypothesis, which we say comprehensible input hypothesis presented by Krashen. And as you would know, there is a definite difference between a theory and a hypothesis. A hypothesis only suggests a relationship, while a theory would mean that those relationships have been clearly established and all the processes at work that link the two variables with each other have been examined, theorized, and can be retested. And that is one of the weaknesses of Krashen's work, because it remains at the level of hypothesis.